So this would have been blending the seasoning in a food processor. So here we would have a different combination. Look at the color, looking wonderful. We have Scotch bonnet pepper, red pepper, that is West Indian red. We have white onion, we have green onion, we have thyme, we have nutmeg, mace. We have also allspice, which is pimento. Plus a few others, so we have them blended. So basically this is Malachi-Style jerk seasoning. Alright? This would have been the final blending. So for the process, final blending I place in a pot. So I would have about 4 pounds of onion. That's the yellow onion, about ½ pound of the green onion. Few ounces of the green thyme, the nutmeg mace, 2 ounces, plus allspice, ¼ pound. So all of those would have been blended. On the red pepper, 2 pounds of red pepper. Again, we want the ones which are greener. Right? So we want this combination of the different flavors as we go along. So this would have been most of my wet seasoning. I will add browning to that. By browning there, and I'll add soy sauce as the other form of wet seasoning. I've also added some vinegar. I would have purchased some vinegar. The vinegar would have been added, some amount of acidity. So as I add the other ingredient, you will see the whole process. So here I'm adding the salt. Normally the salt, I would have added the salt with the pepper, right, with some amount of vinegar and have them age for a period of time. But here I'm doing everything nearly at the same time. Again, the quality will be the same because it is a process. Only that the flavor may not be as deep as I would want it. So I'd have mixed in the salt, and the sauce would have done some amount of plasmolysis. Right, would have shrink or taken some of the moisture out of the different seasoning, and then would have a nice, array of aromas, spicy, pungent, a little savory, sharp. So all of this, I'll start adding the powdered seasoning. And again, some moisture, some water will go with it. And again, we want to have the color. Many persons would blend the seasoning and add it straight. Why I don't do that? Sometimes the green onion and the white onion may have eelworm or microscopic worm. So when person consume it, they tend to have diarrhea. And sometimes that sharp array of aroma can cause that. Alright? So that is why we normally cook it as a means of preserving it. So it can be used for longer periods, or it can be put up. Alright, so that is what we are going to do. In the initial stage, I'm going to add some paprika, labeled, and I'm going to also add some all-purpose seasoning. I find these to be very, very good. These are part of my secret blend, just a part of, can't expose everything. But these would have been part of my secret blend, and I intend to get a consistent, so once person tastes, they would know that yes, Malachi would have done that because of the constant or the set ingredient that I would have used. So here I would have added 4 ounces of the paprika, and this would have been the bags, and I add, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 ounces of all-purpose, a special all-purpose. Right? And I'm going to add about 500 ml of water to that. Because I want to make it have it like a marinade. So that's the water I've added. You can realize it's now very liquidy. Still need to add some more water to that. So at this stage, I'm going to put in my soy sauce. Nice soy sauce. Again, ginger soy sauce would have been perfect. But here we're using the regular soy sauce. I'm adding my soy sauce. Soy sauce tends to be a little salty, but it gives that nice flavor, the balance. Add some more there. Get the color coming together. And then last of all, I'll add that browning to give it a darker look. So I'm going to add the browning in short order. This stage I'm going to add about 4 more ounces of all-purpose, you know, to help. You have to have your powdered season with your dry season. So some of the wet ones here would be some of the 2 ounce. So each one of the little bags would have been 2 ounces, about 56 grams. So I have 1 more to add, and that would have been enough. Right, so this can make maybe a nice bucket as I'm going to extend it. Soon you will see how the color comes nice with the browning that will be added. So there goes the last of the season. And again, it depends on how you want it, how tasty. Again, once you're going to do it and you put it down the meat for a while, then you tend to put a little extra salt there. Right? Also here we will add some amount of oil, vegetable oil. Because what the vegetable oil does, when all of these flavors blend and become nearly one, it will cause a better spread when we add the oil to it. So we'll add some oil to it. Right? Next I will add the browning, so I'm going to get it ready. So the browning is coming up. Here goes. Browning. The browning, and I will just check. I just depend on the brand. Some of the brands cause it to be very dark, so you have to be careful as to the amount that you put in. So you put in and you watch depending on how you want the color. Yes, this is going to require some more. You mix again. The color looking decent. What I will do next, I will put this over the flame. So here is the pot now on flame. I would have added 1.8 additional liters of water. So at first I added about 600 ml. And now I have a nice enough pot. This amount of season that I'm doing is to prepare 150 pounds of chicken or more. Again, it depends on how spicy you want it. So I'm making this more as a marinade, but again I'm cooking it to allow the flavors to blend better. Right, so the flame is there. When it starts to boil at that point, I will allow it, turn the flames down and allow it to go for 2 or 3 minutes. So nearly everything would have been in. I'm going to add my secret ingredient next. So I won't show you what I'm going to add. What is going to go next is my secret ingredient. That is what helps to ensure that I get the same quality jerk season all the time. So this would have been Malachi-Style of Jamaican jerk seasoning. Very important when you're finished with your work area. Put up all those that you don't want. This would have been my nutmeg mace. That's a part of my ingredient. Extra thyme that has remained and a few Scotch bonnet pepper. I would have my food grade gloves here. I think I would have changed about 3 times already. I have one set that I will put away, the salt, the extra salt. I have that too, so I will just make a rough clean of the area, so it's too messy. Again, it's getting a little messy, so I'll have the area nicely cleaned up, and you will see how nice and clean it is. Here, the final thing, we are going to add some sugar. I'll add about 2 large spoons, and the sugar helps to bring up the flavor and to help all of the different spices to blend as one. I said 2, 2.5. It's great. It's coming nice and mellow. Again, you have to constantly stir because you don't want the ingredient to stick at the bottom and start burning, and burning will take away that aromatic from the seasoning, right? But jerk is basically, it's a seasoning, and it's also a way of cooking. But here we're preparing the jerk seasoning. In another video you will see preparation of the chicken now, and maybe actually the chicken itself. So again, you know, you'll have to follow the channel. It's Malachi's perspective, you know, where he looks at a number of things, and because he has vast experience in this area, jerk, season preparation, food chemistry, and some amount of food science, you know, this would have been an edge. Again, you need to come on board. You need to subscribe, because some interesting videos will come out, right? Especially this one, you know, the jerk season is internationally known. Everybody have their twist. But this one here, you know, I've learned from these persons in Portland. That is where I learned it first, especially where they do the Boston style jerk, and then after I see they do the pan style jerk. But this preparation, you know, it's unique to me, and that is why, you know, I'm trying to share this with you. So I'm sharing a wealth of knowledge, or some of my knowledge, right? I did say that one of the final thing, but I will add the oil as the final thing, as I stated earlier, that will help to spread each unit of this jerk season, you know, all throughout the chicken or the pork or whatever I will add it to. So the oil would have been added. The oil is about a gill of oil, right? A gill of oil would have been added. Again, you don't want it to be swimming. You want it to become emulsified, and you will see very little or very fine droplets. Again, look, there's some amount of scum at the top. It's getting ready to boil. I remember, as soon as it starts to boil, I will have to turn it down because it will overflow. I can't afford that, to waste all of this precious jerk season. Again, it is Malachi's perspective, where we do demonstration, a number of things. But again, I think this is one of the biggest video you will ever see, right? Everybody crave for this worldwide, whether they speak English, Creole, you know, jerk season, everywhere you go, and people do all their little stuff. You know, in future video, I will do an American style, because I tend to have, you know, that little twist to my jerk season. Who to tell? In the near future, I will be supplying, you know, prominent jerk centers with this style of consistency, with this style of jerk season. All right, wait with us now. Cook with us. You can do your own preparation. You can scale yours down. You don't have to use the quantity that I used. Again, some of this information will be in the description, so you can always read the description so you get the information. Yes, I'm seeing some amount of boiling. Are you seeing that too? Yes, right towards the edge of the pot. It's boiling, so we have the scum coming towards the center. As it is, I may have to still add a little water, but I think it is good. I don't want it to be too weak, to be a full marinade. I want it to be thick, some amount of viscosity there, you know. Again, I tell you, you can smell the aroma spreading all over. I don't want to put too many spice in the sense of the Scotch bonnet pepper, so I have to tailor the amount that I place there. Again, I can make it spicy. When I make jerk season, you don't have to add any pepper to it. You may want to add a little ketchup, but pepper, no. So let me turn it down. I'm turning the flame down. Flame was there. Turning it down. Yeah, really low, because I want it to simmer now. Because it's simmering that I would want. Right? Again, we can't even see any of the oil that is there. Now it's simmering, and again, just about 2 minutes and we are good to go. At this stage, it is a final boil, so I'm going to turn off the flame. Flame would have been off. I'm gonna let it stand for a while. Let it become cool, or somehow a little temperature a little lower. Again, Again, if we want to get very technical, then I would have to use my food thermometer to check the temperature. But we want to get a little cool so we can pour. I may have to place the containers in water and then I pour. So this will have to be placed in bottles and put up for use. Again, you can use it as soon as it is cool. So this is Malachi-Style jerk seasoning. Again, you're seeing it all on Malachi's perspective. Remember to subscribe, share, because many persons want to know how to do this great style of making jerk season, Malachi's style. Again, world renowned. Have a little touch of it. Again, it is a channel, Malachi's perspective. Remember to subscribe, share it with a friend. Let us increase the subscription. Now we want to go at least 500. I think this video can do 500, at least 500 subscription. Surprise me now? Give me 1,000. Thank you. See you for the next video.